bed, then they don't want to wake up already. Yeah? So, so I think it has to do with the trend. I think it's very much is to do with the trend, very much is to do with the demands in a specific time. So I think digital economy is rising. So I think this is a component worth looking at. So we can explain a bit more about Go Malaysia Expo, but I think at the moment I will just introduce Michael lah to come in. Yeah, Michael, hi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael.
sure.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael Teh here. So there's a lot of Michael
Hi.
around. So
Common
I should
name.
put my
Same to Andy.
very common. Yeah.
Same to
So
Andy.
I'm sort of like a technical man for the for a long time now. I'm not but over the years I'm becoming more and more business minded. I think thanks to Dennis and my partners, they bring me into the tourism industry, and I realize tourism is actually very challenging and can learn a lot of things. And then now the pandemic is here, the whole world is affected. So as we build the global rooms to help, actually when we started the global rooms, there was a very good mission that I really love about global rooms. That is moving away on the dependency on OTA. So that one really captured me because I always felt that a lot of hoteliers or travel agencies or anyone should not be dependent on any monopoly. So when global rooms came out to create this digitalization support to all the hoteliers, this one really built up my passion to to work on the global rooms projects. So we did a lot of fun projects like we did Jom Yinap, where we help a lot of hoteliers to secure grants from government. You know, when you join together, our voice become louder, right? Second is this new project which we have, the virtual expo, is also very interesting because I think virtual expo suits our hoteliers and tour agencies very much because you know a lot of hoteliers are not very digital focused. You ask them about website, some of them they never focus on website, they never build their website even. Some, if you ask them about Facebook and the Instagram, they hardly open it. They don't know what it is. So suddenly you ask them to focus their marketing in digital marketing, they find it very difficult. But you know, virtual expo is different. Virtual expo allow you to engage the customer face to face, just like when they were doing physical marketing, right? They can see the customer, they can talk to the customer, they can gauge the customer is happy, is worried about the price, is and so on, right? So virtual expo allow the hoteliers to actually and to see the customer face to face, you know, just like a physical sales pitch. So I find this virtual expo more suitable as a marketing tool among all the other marketing tools like social media or web marketing or search engine marketing, you know. So well well I'm like you see, I'm more technical side.
No worry.
So yeah.
Okay, let me break it up. Uzaidi, hi. Uzaidi, how are you?
Hi Andy, how are you Andy?
Hi, our main man Uzaidi.
Hello, big boss.
Yeah, Michael and Dennis. How's things?
Big boss baru masuk.
Hello.
Getting younger and younger.
Ayo,
Yeah.
terima kasih ya. Maybe it's shop 3 times already lah.
Good to see you here, Dennis. Good to see you.
Thanks for the
Go ahead,
invitation.
Dennis. Go ahead.
Thanks for
I'm
the
listening.
invitation.
It's a very interesting topic today. Go
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No
our road to tourism recovery this evening. Our new topic is the new digital tourism. So anything the tourism can relate to digital. So we should make full use of it. Okay, since Michael have talked about the technical side, okay, I just have a question to ask. All these consumer, So after this pandemic, I think make the things fast forward very fast already for retails. Okay, for retails like such as Lazada, Shopee's, everything. So everyone buying online. So used to it because before the pandemic, I don't. Our Malaysian market is still very reluctant on the retails online buying. So after this pandemic, so many people go to Shopee and buy it online. But tourism, holiday package, I don't think it's still very well being podcast or branding to let the consumer go for it. I think we should, Michael, should your guys have a plan to how to make it more faster?
Well, the pandemic is a pandemic lah. I mean, if the borders are closed, there's nothing much anyone can do. But then we also realize we start to realize some hotels and some parties are actually didn't do as bad as we thought. you know, some of our hoteliers actually have fully booked during this pandemic. But some of the hoteliers cannot survive. So I think it calls for everyone to rethink the strategy, their marketing strategy. You have to think out of the box already.
You mean
If you
is the
don't change,
players not adapt to the digital or the consumer?
the players definitely. Okay, a lot of hoteliers they just think that it is a pandemic, so all the borders are closed, and then there's
So
no
they
business.
stop.
So no point they focus on this, correct? But it is just like sitting there and waiting to die. So you can make a decision like you want to go for it or you want to just wait, because I don't think we all common sense we don't think that it can go back to the uh, pre-pandemic 2019.
Situation. Yeah.
Yeah, you just do not know when, so it's better to just plan for this new norm is a right. So the type of travelers will be different, right? And then it will change very fast as well. So today is open to first liners, and tomorrow it will be open for domestic, and then the bubble start to kick in, Langkawi and so on. The bubble with other countries start to kick in. So it's actually a changing market all the time. So if we're not talking about what technology we're using. We're just talking about the target market that we should be focusing. So our target is we have to keep changing our target in order to be successful. So
Okay.
whoever that changes has a advantage, is it? Yeah.
For my past experience on hoteliers, our Malaysia local people like to do last minute booking. Do
Very
you
true,
agree
very
with
true.
me?
Agreed 100%.
100%.
Yes.
This is
So
why. So we must
technology is very
change
important to do that.
consumer
Yeah.
attitude.
Yes.
We,
Yeah.
okay.
We don't want to
What's
use
any?
tools that are we don't want to use tools that are not flexible. When we choose our tools, we have to choose tools that are flexible also. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then the more tools you have, the more flexible we are. So well, we can see the market is changing a lot lah. For example, the market share for the is going from offline to online, as you just mentioned. Okay, and also
Okay.
the profit margin is also reducing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the profit margin reducing, how can you use the digital marketing to reduce your marketing costs,
But
right?
I think.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Let you continue.
yeah. So that's why if the more we understand about digital marketing, the better we are in managing the business, right? Last time it wasn't so important, but now it's super important because uh, one 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 party, one player may be very familiar with digital marketing, and then they can execute their marketing at very efficiently. So the cost is low. You know, for example, they concentrate on the conversion rate. They focus on the traffic cost. But then you compare to another player who doesn't know about this, right? So they do digital marketing, but then the traffic cost is expensive. The conversion rate is high. They just didn't realize it. You know? So therefore, at the end of the day, they lose because of the marketing cost. So there are things that this digital marketing, I think everybody need to learn some skills about it. Yeah. But don't follow those gurus in the market because those are dangerous. All right. Yeah.
But I think the strategy have been strategized by AirAsia. So AirAsia did it very well. But why can't the other hotels or what all these hotelier to do the branding or whatever do it such a AirAsia way they make the consumer book holiday earlier? Is there any way you think of?
That strategy, like buy now, use later, there's pros and cons. It's good for cash flow when the situation is bad, but it can be counter effective if you have too many bookings that already paid for at very low price, but you are unable to deliver, which you do not know when it can be delivered. You know, when the
Okay.
market opens up, then you suddenly have a huge wave of people redeeming the vouchers. Then you may also have problem with that one. Yeah.
That's why it comes back to my question about buying online, because when last minute they do the booking last minute, I don't think they will go online, or they used to go OTAs or book direct or walk in. You see, so like those virtual expo, what is the use of a virtual expo if the consumer don't have a habit to buy now and stay later? You see?
Okay. Buy now, stay later is just one of the strategy. There you can actually sell your room in many manners, right? So the virtual expo is allow the hotel or the exhibitor to be able to engage with their customer face to face. All right. For example, the exhibitor, the advertiser have a choice of choosing Facebook advertising or
Okay,
Instagram
let
advertising.
me stop you on that first.
Okay. All right.
But the actual compared to versus to virtual ones, Mata Fair did it very well. Okay, so how you challenge Mata Fair?
Mata Fair, you referring to the physical
That is a
fair or the?
branding. Is it? They are branding the Mata Fair have been there for years to years, but they did it very well. And Mata Fair people go Mata Fair and buy now, stay later.
True, true, true.
Dennis,
Can
you
I
have
add
any?
something? Yeah. I concur with what you said, and is exactly true. And being a hotelier myself and being in the industry for quite a while, people always said, "Oh, Hilton is a brand. I like to stay in this brand, but not any particular hotel of yours, because your brand is not as big as Hilton." So I said, correct, but Hilton started 200 years ago. Do you know that? And Hilton
Yep.
started with one.
They do a
It's a
very
timing
long
lapse.
branding.
It's a
Yeah.
timing lapse. It's a catching up. You can't be literally talking about a local brand right now, whatever, and compare it to Hilton, because Hilton has been there for 100 years.
Correct.
When they first started, the Hilton family, they started as a family business and they grew it from there. It's the same thing. So it's an educational process. And the pandemic actually taught us a lot of things. It taught us how to use use phone to scan QR codes, and even senior citizens
Yep. They
are
used to
used to
it.
it right now and all this stuff. This is something that's never foreseeable in the last time during the so-called old normal, right? So eventually, I think as what you mentioned earlier, Andy, you said right now, people are shopping on Lazada and you buy food, you buy veggie, you
Yep.
buy everything down there. So it's a trend right now. But what set this trend? Whatever that set this trend is because of pandemic. Why?
Yep.
Why is that this trend all of a sudden there's a surge? Because a lot of the items that was provided in Lazada are actually a lot are essential items. Okay, so it's something that people like to use, people which are using daily and stuff like that. So they're able to cover the whole spectrum of things which are there. So it's like I want to go hotel, I look for an OTA. I want to now look for something. I want to look for a pen, or I want to look for even a rubber. I will go Lazada, that sort of stuff. So eventually, tourism in that scope is still tourism in one aspect. It's just tourism, right? So the word tourism does not link itself to a lot of other aspects. That's why in our you see in what we do in our Go Malaysia Expo, we don't totally call it just a tourism fair. It's actually a travel and lifestyle virtual fair, lifestyles. So we're blending in the lifestyle element inside to be able to blend it all together. And yes, obviously we are not here to compare with Mata. We are not here to compare with whoever that has
No, we,
done
we, we
a
want
successful
we,
story.
we want
Yeah,
because we want to
yeah.
digitalize. That's why the new
Correct.
digital tourism.
True. In that perspective, I think the adoption of it it will eventually come in. And I
Yeah.
always say, why is a hotelier not able to do the Asia style, for example, as you said, right? So my perception, I'm not against any hotelier because
Okay.
I'm a hotelier
Is
myself. So
yeah.
my perception,
Own opinion.
because hoteliers are not risk takers. We are not. We are not risk takers, and a lot of time when we do things, we are very safe. We want to see our costs how much first. I mean, it's fundamental. It's very correct. It's very correct. It's fundamental business. I want to make sure my cost is there and whatever it is. But eventually the marketing aspect of it is also very very important. you know so you have to strike a balance there with the right model. All right, Asia can strike the model because all his seats are like my seat is standard. This is the same size. This is how it's like that. It's not like bigger leg room or smaller leg room. It's all the same standard. But I can sell it from $1 and I can sell it up to $2,000. Correct.
Yeah.
But hotels, on the other hand, we have categories. Then we have differentiation. We have a double, we have single, we have family, we have so forth and so forth and so forth. So it's another way of doing marketing altogether. So I would think that just like for example, when we do this digitalization program, for hoteliers, we come in and we said to the hotelier and said, okay, let's digitalize the place. Digitalize means basically putting a system in place lah. For example, the most basic one will be the PMS system, which is a property management system, right? So you're able to do check-in, do check-out, and know your dirty room and things like that, right? So then you can link it to your room with a key card and stuff like that, which a lot of hotels do not have it yet, especially the smaller hotels,
Yeah.
especially the small hotels. And as I know right now, if I'm not wrong, MAH hotels will probably have about I can't remember the exact. If I'm not too
2,000
sure.
over
About 1,000 over
members.
members. About 1,000 over members, I
2,000.
think. Yeah,
About 2,000.
yeah, maybe. Yeah. Then the others hotel association
My bar.
is my bar is right now at 2,000 plus hotel members. But these are hotel members. These have not yet counted all the others who are not hotel members. You know.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when digitalization process come in, we even tell them there's no cost upfront. We do it until a level, no cost upfront, no cost upfront. That means we do all the things for you, we digitalize for you, we give you a direct website, we do an SSL for you. You ask Michael, we will be working on this. We do SSL for you for a year. We do hosting fee for you for a year. Your domain name is yours. We don't do. You click in any point of sales that we have. We click it back into your direct booking into your own hotel website, and things like that. So, but the acceptance of it is
Yep.
still very
How
slow.
far we can go?
Yeah, it's still very slow. It's like
Slow, right?
no smoke, no fire, right? No smoke, no fire, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It takes two hands to clap, right? So I
Yes.
mean, it's both sides. So you have one person who really like it to do, just like a guy like a girl, and then chasing after them, buying flowers and all this, but just that the
Correct.
girl said no, you're not my type.
Whether the
That's
girls
it.
like the flowers or not.
Yeah, the girl probably
You
take the
see?
flower and say thank you very much and bye bye lah. That's that kind of thing.
Correct.
But eventually, that is a hand in love situation. But again, we're not stopping there. That's the idea. We're not stopping there. We want to be always in the move, in the process of doing it, right? So we do digitalization right now. Digitalization in the hotels. Then we go into digital tourism in this case.
Yep.
Because we understand when the hotel was in lockdown at that time, you can't even meet the customer there. I'm not even talking about you want to go and see them and talk to them and all this thing. Although remotely, we are able to set up the system remotely for you, not an issue. But then, because the thought is that I just want to see it, I want to feel it physically. It not that thought is still there. There are a lot of times they are during that period they are very very concerned about their sales, right? So because sales means bread and butter lah, So then they sort of delay this plan for a while and things like that. So now with the travel bubble coming back in, I think it's a good time to start picking up again. And I think with this trend moving on, a lot of players who are in the old school of thought,
Dinosaur.
unfortunately, will be phased out. Unfortunately, I mean, this
Yeah,
is
that's
my
why.
opinion alone. I'm not representing any
Yeah,
associate
yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
My
Of
opinion
course, we
alone. My
don't
opinion.
offend
You
anybody,
can
but it's
agree or you
just
can disagree,
general.
but it's my opinion alone. Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
when we do this, so we head on and doing it, and you ask me, why do you want to do digital tourism? This is nothing. People are not going to like it and blah blah blah. But if you don't do, you never do. If you never
Yeah.
do, you'll be just sitting there and say, I won't do. I will wait for the
Never
best time to
try, never
do.
know.
But when is the best time to do? I don't know. When until the situation get better lah. But the thing is that when you wait for the situation to get better, would you be always the forefront runner who is running the at the front and who has probably failed more time than the others to be able to understand this business better than anyone else? I think if you fail more, you probably know a bit more better than the others, right? Because people will always remember the pioneers who will succeed. I would know Louis Armstrong is the first man who walked on the moon. If you ask me who is the second one, let me check Google and I'll get back to you, that sort of stuff. Am I correct? Right.
Yeah.
So eventually it's a mindset thing. I look at it. Right? You might be able to accept, adopt, and then acquire and achieve. But how many people can do that? How many people would be able to do that? Then of course you're bonded also by your decision maker in the company and all these things, which they might have different views and ideas and how things have to come in, blah blah blah, and so forth. But nevertheless, let's not talk about on this aspect of mindset, but let's move on to the
That's why
digital
Michael
tourism.
come
What we're talking
into
about.
this room to
Yeah,
tell us all the technical and convince his players and the consumer how to make
correct,
use of the digital and the high
correct.
technology to go forward. You see,
Yeah,
don't stay there.
correct. I just add on one point before I pass over to Michael.
Yeah.
In the Go Malaysia Expo, what we do, apart from having different exhibitors to exhibit their products and services and so forth, we also put a lot of emphasis on webinars. Yeah, one of the webinars is we have the Google Talk. We have the privilege to invite the Google APAC based in Singapore to come in to give a talk about doing direct booking with Googles. You know what it means?
Yes,
It
that
means,
is good.
you know what it means? I'm not here to offend anyone again. It means, basically Google is trying to tell you, I am here to help you sell your room directly. Talk to me. Because why? Because we all know the cost of operating, on the other aspect of things is very, very high, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
So, which
but
is something that we're always
Dennis,
complaining, right? Yeah.
so far I see Google is back behind from compared to Facebook or these other social medias, TikTok or anything. Google, yes, only Google Map is very successfully do all this navigation, but on this kind of sales things, I don't know whether they are focused on it or not.
Yeah, I'll pass to Michael on the technical lah. But basically, what they're trying to say is
Michael.
that instead of you going to book room from your OTA,
Yeah,
now Google is able to even list you on top of your SEO before the OTA.
that is good lah.
That is basically
Okay,
what Google is trying to tell
before
you.
we continue
Yeah.
with Michael's, okay, today's very welcome to the Road to Tourism Recovery, the new digital tourism, and we have a guest speaker, Michael Teh and Denis Ong on the house. So and Michael Tam, you raise your hand. You have any questions? Anyone have a question? So raise your hand. I will bring up
Michael
your
Tam.
stage.
Michael Tam is our good friend
Michael
from
also.
Malacca.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? How
What's
are you
up,
guys?
bro?
What's up?
Yes, I was intrigued by Dennis just now. Louis Armstrong, the first man, stepped on the moon.
Wow, I intrigue you ah. Okay.
Actually, it was Neil Armstrong, bro. Louis Armstrong is a singer, lah, bro.
Oh, Neil Armstrong,
Louis
sorry. Slip on my tongue lah. Now you get me right on it.
Don't worry.
Hey,
Sorry.
don't embarrass
As long
me.
as
There's-
Armstrong lah.
Yeah, there's a musician inside also as well. We have Mr. Yogi B,
Yeah.
who is
I am
used
so
to be-
sorry.
Used to be in Poetic Emo, one of the hip hop artists also back in
Yeah,
back
yeah,
those
yeah.
days, right?
Yogi, is it?
Yeah, Yogi.
Yeah, I bring up to the stage.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Okay.
Very famous guy. Talk about money, yeah. Mr. Yogi B. Okay, Dennis. I was actually listening to you just now earlier. They are the older generation or the senior generation of hoteliers. Are a bit skeptical
Conservative.
or conservative. Andy, you could say that about digitalization. Yeah. Well, I see myself as the new or the younger generation of hoteliers. Well, I see digitalization is an advantage compared to disadvantage during MCO. And I think there is a way to reach out the senior generations of hoteliers, because you see sometimes they are too afraid or too shy to ask to know further about digitalization, unlike our friend like Mr. Go, who is a bit older but he's a bit open-minded.
You then not let him know that you say he's older.
Yeah, that is why I'm daring to say.
No, I'm
because
just
he's not
kidding.
around.
Yeah.
He's not around. Yeah, so but I see I think we should get closer or personal touch with them in order for them to
Yeah.
venture out in this new digitalization lah. Because you see, there's one hotel in Malacca by the name of certain, which I won't mention it here. This uncle came to me, hey Mike, what is this digitalization all about? What's the advantage? What's the benefit? So I started to talk to him, and he is quite open actually, but it's just that the problem he's a bit shy lah to ask in the group or something like that lah. Maybe you need a personal one-on-one session, something like that. Oh yeah, by the way, we have another guy who just I brought inside, who is my former GM in Ibis, Mr. Anthony. He's a Filipino,
Anthony.
but
Hi, Anthony.
yeah, he's
Let me bring him up.
Malaysian by blood. So called to say lah, I don't know why he loved Malaysia so much lah. Maybe it's the asam pedas in Malacca always that he ate over here, so that is why lah. He's still waiting to get offered back to Malaysia. I hope he won't come back to Malaysia, because if he's around, I will be spoiled lah.
Okay. Anthony, what is
Tony.
Tony?
Yes, if you see
Tony
right.
Tang. Okay, I bring him up.
Yeah, Tony
Yeah.
Tang Yak.
Tang Yang. Yeah, this is why Michael, you talked the right pathway about this digitalization to tourism. So I think we need to well educate all these senior owner, but is the trend will change. You just like look at the mobile phone. Okay, last time we have features phones like the Nokia. When after the smartphone come out, the people adapting to the mobile. I mean the smartphones and touch screens, everything. Eventually, all these senior people also have to learn. You see, this is how.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Andy, because I have an old man who is about 70 plus using an iPad while I'm just using a normal Samsung old, very old passage. So I was surprised. Like, so basically, yeah, I think you were right, Andy. So I think we should expose these people in a personal touch, one-on-one session, so they will open up themselves into this digitalization. I mean, it's good. It's really great to. I mean, I'm quite honored to know Dennis, Michael Teh. They are the one who actually from Go lah, basically lah,
Yep.
introduced to me to global rooms, and we're going to have this expo. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's great, man.
Yep. Yep. Michael Teh, you have anything?
Yes. Right. Yeah. I think it's really true. We when we talk with the more senior people, sometimes they may be more hesitant to adapt the new technology and stuff like that. Some of them they just feel it's not their tools, it's not their toys. It's the younger generation. So they think that it's not really necessary. But what I notice is when those older generation people, the seniors, when they look at people play around with the new toys,
Yeah,
they can
they
always
follow.
yeah, they just follow, not as a seller but as a buyer, as a consumer. So then you will feel less pressure to learn new technology. So if you are a consumer and you want to travel, would you use the OTA to find your hotel? You do, right? So nowadays, the new generation, they use new tools like Google Map,
Yep.
right? When I'm talking to my partners in Japan, when I talk about all these things, they say no, I don't use Agoda, I don't use Booking.com. I ask them, what do you use? I just use Google Map. So that's what my Japanese partners tell me. To them, they only use Google Map. They don't use anything else, right? Or they use probably another Japanese app. So actually, Google actually do it very well. They have a Google Map where you just look at the map and then you see all the hotels. And the pricing pop up at
Yes.
the same time.
Yeah, I know.
So
They can
you,
book Grab or Uber, right?
yeah.
Internet. Yeah.
So it's very user centric because the person may not just look for accommodation; he may be also looking for where to eat,
Transportation.
restaurants and transportation and everything else. So
Yeah.
it's a convenience. So Google Map creates a convenience for people where the search starts from where they want to go, right? So then they can see all the hotels. But do you know that putting your hotel in the Google Map is free of charge?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did.
Correct,
Yeah,
Michael.
so that is important because a lot of people don't realize, they thought Google Map is another OTA. No, Google Map will choose an OTA if you don't represent yourself. If the hotel represent yourself, it's a direct hotel booking. Actually, Google give a direct hotel booking the higher ranking. That means they will display your hotel
Yeah.
offer first. And then when I talk to the Europeans and the Americans, when they travel, they don't mind paying a few dollar more, as long as they're paying direct to the hotel. So a lot of travelers have experienced they're using OTAs, right? And they go there because they didn't book direct to the hotel. Sometimes, some miscommunication, and then they didn't get the room, or they got the room at different price, or they got a different type of rooms, for example. But um, it's always better to book direct with the hotels. So number one, even if there is a miscommunication, they can talk directly with the hotel. Look, this is your website. I booked directly from your website.
Yep.
It's always also good that your customers is brought to your own website, and then the customer remember your website name. That is your branding, right? You don't want to lose your branding, because next time the customer come and look for you, they start looking for you at the OTA instead of your website address. So having your own website is actually building your own brand. But building your own brand, you require exposure. Since Google gives you free exposure, it's actually a very, very good tool. Yeah, that's why we invited Google to give a talk during our expo. So this is one of the important thing to catch on. So Google is here to help direct hotel booking. And then if your
That's good.
hotel don't have a online payment, okay, no problem. Just do you know there's also many new payment technology, and then you can, some of them is free of charge, some you have to pay a little bit. So it's still much cheaper than using OTA, because um, all the payment will directly go to your bank account. You don't have to go to other people's bank account waiting for settlement period, things like that.
That will be good. That will be
Yeah.
good because OTA have been monopolized the whole market.
Correct.
Correct. Anyway, just to add on that Michael points, actually, if you mention just now, actually you're mentioning more to the first world country like America, Japan, I mean Tokyo, all that kind of stuff, right? But in Southeast Asia, I find it that we were being overshadowed or overexposed to the market with this OTA branding like Agoda, Traveloka,
Yes.
Trivago, and so forth. So if you I don't know about Philippines, maybe Tony can explain on that part side of the Philippines. But Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, I think most of the people down there they were exposed conventionally with OTA like Agoda, all that kind of stuff. So that is why it's not like in America or in Europe they use Google. Even for myself also, I'm using Google itself. I very
Yeah,
much
me too.
less using OTAs nowadays.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
important to
Never mind.
remember we are not migrating. We are not choosing Google and don't choose OTA.
Correct.
We have
Great.
to use both.
Yep.
Okay. Instead,
Balance.
we have to use three types of marketing. One is the search engine, which is a Google. Okay. The second one is the OTA. Okay. Third one we should also look at is a social media like Facebook and Instagram. So to grab the new customers, you need to reach out to very far away. To reach out to very far away, you need to have OTAs, you need to have search engine, you need to have social media to reach out to new customers. So when you bring them back, you can keep them in your website, you can keep them in your social media like as a followers and so on, right?
Yes.
So you should use
Let's
all three ways.
listen.
Yeah.
Let's listen from Philippine Tony.
Hi, good evening,
Hi,
gentlemen.
Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Michael, Andy.
Yo, what's up? How are
Hi,
you?
There are
Tony.
two Michaels, Michael Tam and
Michael
the
Teh.
more handsome Michael, the other one.
Basketball. You.
Good evening,
Your
guys.
GM.
I would
Hi,
like to
Halim.
expound more on Michael's SEO, the search engine, and what Michael Tam actually just mentioned. You guys were right. In the Philippines, we're going back to the basics of actually taking care of our websites now, the hotels, because the OTA are not giving out complete information on the protocols. There are a lot of miscommunications when the guest actually checks in, and all of a sudden, the hotel actually requires them to be fully vaccinated and must
Yes.
have,
You
things
encounter
like
this
that. Now,
problem.
the OTA will not be able to actually help you with that.
Half Chinese, half Filipino, but he still got strong Filipino accent.
Yeah, so
Hi, Halim.
that's good. That's a good thing about SEO, the search engine optimization, is the craziest trend that's going back to the hotels now. We need to what do you call this? Optimize search engine, just like what Michael said. Now, with regards to pricing, nobody cares about pricing anymore. Everybody drops their pricing like hell.
Yeah.
Now,
Fall into the price war.
the trending now is where we have a lot of overseas Filipino workers coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is actually helping out in the occupancy of hotels. They are all required to actually stay in the hotels for like 14 days maximum.
Yeah.
So we have like over 1,000 arrivals a day. So these guys gonna go to hotels on their choices. So
But this is
yes,
short term,
yes to the
right?
SEO, yes to the website, not so much on the OTA. That's what's going on in the Philippines, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right. Hi, Halim. Anything from you? Any question from you?
Hey, hi, good evening,
Hi,
everybody.
good evening.
All good, all good. I mean, interesting topic today. I'm glad you guys
Yeah, yeah,
talking about this because, yeah, I've been hearing I suppose I fall in the older generation category.
yeah. No lah, you already up to the market lah.
But yeah, it's all about, whether we are the old school or the new school generation. It's something that we cannot run away from. Yeah. As we all know, the pandemic accelerated digitalization for
Yes.
everybody in all industries, whether it's consumer goods, whether it's hotel, or even tourism for that matter. You know?
Yep.
So I think it's critical that we realize the dependency on digitalization, and it's knowing what system is in the marketplace. What do you want to invest in? How do you want to use? The thing about digitalization is like our computer, garbage in, garbage out, right? At the end of the day, one can invest in a very expensive system, but if you don't use it properly, then it's just a lot of wastage of investment, right? And at the same time, when we talk about digitalization, Malaysia in particular, and perhaps some other ASEAN countries, the people who are knowledgeable to use the revenue management system, the AI system, proper PMS integration with your channel managers, all that is a bit lacking.
Yeah,
Yeah?
lacking.
Unfortunately, a lot of our revenue people are, how do you call it, comes up from the line or the lineage of reservations department or front office. So they are sometimes, to me, I consider them glorified reservations manager. But then again, there are some very good ones out there who really use the system to calculate inventory, room inventory, to calculate rates to gain maximum revenue and profits. Yeah. But coming to this OTA thing, yes, I agree with, I think it was Tony or Michael just now who said that we were so dependent by OTAs. In fact, they took advantage of it from the brochure.
Yes.
The brochure rates moved to digitalization rates, whereby
Mobile
they started,
rates.
mobile rate, mobile app. They start to take advantage of people like us in the industry who are desperate to get business, and the competition just became wider. As I think Tony mentioned, connectivity to the world is at your fingertip, right? You know? So I think the important thing here is we must realize, and I've always told people when I do my revenue management course, is that OTAs is a channel of business. It's a channel where people can reach out to you to make reservations and booking. Don't make it a segment. I can guarantee you out there, a lot of hoteliers who are hoteliers out there, it has become a segment. And unfortunately, we cannot reverse it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, again, I think in one of our talks before, I brought up about asking my director of sales and marketing, why is your corporate clients reducing? Why is the productivity of corporate reducing? And they'll come up with 101 excuses and reasons, not realizing that the corporates are actually buying the OTAs, right? Because they go on the dynamic rates and best available rate. And here we are, still going on pushing out rates every year, putting 300 ringgit, but then on the internet you're putting 150 ringgit. What do you expect people
Yes.
to do? So
Very
the
true, Halim.
integrity,
Very true.
the rate integrity is gone, right? So forget about
Yeah.
it.
The
Forget about
positioning
corporate
is
rate. Forget
gone.
about government rate. Forget all that. Just put on your bar rate. Period. As long as you've calculated your break-even point, as long as you've calculated what the profits are for each particular room type, put out that dynamic and the best available rate, and just get people buying.
Yep.
Forget about putting something that somebody not going to buy. You're just wasting effort and time. So again, coming back, use the OTA as a channel. I've always used it as a marketing tool. Actually, why?
Correct.
Because we've
Because
put
they
it
have.
out to the world, just to put your hotel name out there through an OTA.
Yes.
But limit your inventory lah, limit your allocation. But make sure your website, your booking engines are effective. Your website is effective. The rates you put in your website are
Active.
better than what one will get on the internet, on the OTA, and that's,
Yes.
like it or not, that's digitalization, right? Whether you like it or not. And nowadays, people are using hashtags and all those things in social media to just get people driven to your own website. But a lot of the time, I see people put into the website the rates higher than OTA. That doesn't
They make it
any
different
sense
already.
at all. Doesn't make any sense at all, right? And then you're gonna put a differentiation of rate parity, so-called rate parity. Are the OTAs doing rate parity? Not at all. One fellow is giving 20% discount. The other fellow, genius, I give you another 50% discount. At the end of the day, where's the rate parity? But the minute we adjust our rates in the website, wow, the phone call starts coming, the email starts coming to say, how come your rate is, right? So you see what happened? The OTA has now taken over your business.
Yeah.
We got to reverse that. And don't allow them to take over our business. Yes, we need them, but at the same time, manage it. And in Europe, to be honest, a lot of hotels have started to switch over their guests. Those who book online, the next visit, they'll book direct.
Yeah.
And that's something we need to do in Asia, something we need to do in Malaysia. Okay, thanks, guys. I'm just sharing, yeah?
Good
Yeah.
point. Good point, Halim.
Thanks,
Michael
Halim.
Teh.
Yeah, actually, what we need is a strategy. The previous strategy we used was just get the sales from the OTA. But now you change the strategy a bit. Use the OTA to get new sales or get new customers. Once you get the new customers in, you need some tools to lock them into your website or in your social media. So whenever you get a promotion, you can reach out to your own customers, And then a lot of people think, oh, if I want to create my loyalty program, it's very expensive. Actually, it's not. It's really not expensive. So only if you start looking into different tools, to change your strategy. So of course, continue to use OTA, but you change the situation around. Make use of the OTA to bring all the good customers. You can throw out super discounts to the OTAs, bring the customer in, and once they're in, you capture them. Then you keep your customer. By all means keep them. Like for example, you always give them make them become a membership. And when they become a membership, you can offer any price rate as you want because it's nothing to do with if a publish a retail price anymore. It's only to your membership pricing, right? So you can change the strategies, and then you can overcome this OTA problem. So it become not a problem. It become you making use of the OTA, to increase your new traffic. But once they come in, it become yours, right? So
Okay, Michael.
yeah.
I have a question for you. Since I'm talking about consumers, their trend are go to OTA, look for this hotel. How
Yes.
gonna you change habit to go like Google Maps or whatever? This is the thing to do.
Okay, I'm a traveler. I basically before the pandemic, I traveled 3.5 weeks every month. So I'm only back in Malaysia 3 or 4 days a month. So I really travel. But every time I come back, I see there are some emails waiting for me. Out of all the hotels that I stay in, only 1 or 2 hotels actually send me a thank you note. At the end of the coming to Christmas, they send me a Merry Christmas note. I they keep me reminded that I stayed at the hotel and I enjoyed the hotel. So whenever I go back to, for example, I go back to a particular city, I will always go back to that hotel.
Yep.
Right? Because as a business traveler, I don't want to go to new hotel and I'm not sure about the traffic there. I'm not sure about all the uncertainties. But always, because I get all these nice greetings from the hotel, I always remember back, hey, I might as well stay at the hotel whenever I'm in the city, because I know where's the best restaurant, which one is the best, right? So you can do that. It's not that difficult. It's just
You
that
don't
many
think
hotels don't practice.
is email blasting is annoying?
No, it's actually from a hotel that I like. So why would it be annoying, right?
But it's not that you remember the hotel by your good memory or good service, but it's by email. This is my question.
Right. You can keep on engaged to your customer by email, by Facebook, by Instagram, and all sort of things. You can even send a Christmas card to the customer. But that's what you need to do to keep your customer. All right. It's not like the customer will be switched from OTA to you, just you're not doing anything at all. You have to do something, right? So all this is automated. You don't really need to actually send the email, right?
You
can just use a tool to
OTA,
automatically send. Yep.
You mean the OTA did the good blasting from time to time to blast all these their network user to book from them?
OTA do a lot of email blasting. Yeah. But they don't just blast out the email. They actually know their customer would travel to these few cities. All right. So basing on they keep history of the customer, like what they have searched before, then they will only blast out the offers from those cities. So OTA is very clever. They don't blast out information that you might not be interested in. They blast out offers. People are greedy. People, even though they're not going, they will have a look, right?
Yeah, there's an AI from the website lah. Like the Gmail also, Google also know what we interested, right?
Yeah. Okay. As a hotelier example, then your strategy would be slightly different because you don't have so many properties to sell, right? So, but you know more about the customer in another way. For example, you know when the customer come. This is a business traveler, or this is a couple, or this is an individual.
Correct.
You actually have this information, but do you care to take care to remember this?
Yes.
Right? Do you make use of that? Yeah.
Michael?
Maybe I could add on that. I agreed with what Michael was saying, and indeed, maybe to explain this on Michael's point of view as a guest, but I will give a point of view as a hotelier. I would say that OTAs, like what you said, Andy, it was a very one-way traffic, or there is no human touch. Maybe that's the word. So basically, I did this experiment before when I was working in one of the Accor hotel, and I do it on my own accord without anyone telling me what to do. And basically, I know this guy. He's been with us for a couple of times, and so I managed to get the emails, and I sort of like saying how are you and wishing him Selamat Hari Raya and so forth. And eventually he did not reply. So I worried, am I harassing him or not? You get what I mean. But at the end of the day, that I was surprised. After a few days later, he replied, and he was very appreciated. And from that day onwards, he did not basically book from OTA, but he booked directly from me instead of the website lah, of course lah.
Yes.
So it's the human touch that really,
human touch.
Yeah, the personal message must be a human touch. So what have been thrown an idea from Michael is maybe I could practice it in this hotel, the one that I'm working for. I will pick randomly, not randomly, maybe more specific. If he's a regular guest, I will keep in touch with him. Maybe I would drop an email, wishing him on a special occasion, something like that. Maybe I will see what's the outcome. I think it's a good idea that with more human touch,
Yeah,
emails or text or something like that.
true. And then I did experiment similar with one of Malaysian hotels, right? So I've when I go there, I ask them to bring out all the check in forms that the customers fill in, pick out all the emails, and then they send Merry Christmas. Don't try to sell, just send Merry Christmas. Right. Hope you enjoy the Christmas and New Year holiday season and so on. Just send Merry Christmas, and you're not selling. They don't feel it's a spam. Right. Suddenly
Yes,
they remember. I stayed in the hotel.
yes, yes.
Do you know
Not
that?
too commercial, yeah.
Yeah, they managed to achieve 30% recurring customer.
Good,
30%.
good.
Yeah, it's incredible because their customer service was very good. So it was exceptional because they realized the customer even remember the front desk the person's name. So their service was exceptional. But because of that, they actually managed to get recurring customer every year. Yeah. So those are personal touch. Where if you can achieve that, that will be incredible. Yeah, but but then again, these are things that every hotel may have their own strength. All right, they may have
Yeah,
different strength. Maybe
positioning.
personal touch. Maybe they are they are next to a very popular restaurant, or maybe very easy to get on the public transport or to near to somewhere. Maybe it's a location purpose, or maybe it is they are strategically suitable for business travelers or couples.
Yep.
So everyone is different, so you can actually compete with the OTA. Yeah. So I think this is one thing we can do lah. I mean, as a hoteler, if you want to think like how to overcome this dependency on OTA. Yeah. But
I think if I can add on, Michael,
Yeah, yeah,
you are
Halim.
yeah.
right. Um, See, even more so during this pandemic, right? Since March 2020, all people went what we call dark marketing, gone completely gelap, They all panic. They all say, okay, what we are going to do, this and that. We're going to hotels closing. We have to let go manpower, etc., etc. And the most dangerous thing to do is not to touch with your existing customers. And by not being in touch with your existing customers, you literally cut off your activity and business relation with them. And suddenly, 1 year and a half, today you decide to just send an email or send social media or WhatsApp, Facebook or whatever to them, say, hey, hi, we are still open. Right?
They feel great.
So they feel great is one thing, but what happened in between, say, for 18 months, right? You don't even know whether this person is okay, not okay, and building relationship is something that we all want to do, apart from receiving birthday cards, anniversary cards, or wishes.
Yeah.
It's actually maintaining that business relationship, right? And maintaining business relationship would eventually help you right now. When you are reopening or states open or you are a hotel in Langkawi, that they say, hey, by the way, are you open? Travel bubble in Langkawi is okay. Rather than customer having to reach out, you are constantly keeping them, abreast and updated what the situation is in the current market. So it's very important that customer centric now is what you want to go like. Pre-post sort of being in communication with them definitely will help you in business sustainability.
But Halim,
And it's
I
there,
think
right?
the situation doesn't allow because they close and open, and those employers have to pay cut or unpaid leave. You see,
No,
this is the
totally
thing. The
understand
many.
that part of it. You see, that's where our problem is. We're so concentrated on the operation side. We forgot the marketing side. You know, we're so focused on cutting costs and what do we do,
Yeah.
tutup buka, that sort of thing. But we've got another team of people, right? Which unfortunately a lot of hotels, the first people to cut off is these guys. Reduce work day lah, this lah, that lah. The marketing people.
But the marketing don't cut.
Sales, yeah, you can't do hard calls for sure. You cannot go visit people for sure.
True, Halim, true.
That's true.
Keeping
That's
in
true.
touch with them. Your travel agent is one, your corporate clients are one. Your own loyalty programs is another one. If you don't maintain, and the digitalization is there for you, right? It's how you do it. How many of us have a WhatsApp business rather than using just your WhatsApp?
We do.
When you have a WhatsApp business, for instance, people will take you seriously. People
Yes.
will actually say, you're only sending business-related things, promotions, or, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Right? Kawan is kawan lah, business is business, but we got to draw a clear line. Yeah. So again, that's where digitalization comes in, right? Yeah. Thanks.
Correct.
Yep,
This
it's true.
Halim bring up the good point about the WhatsApp. Yeah. I think Malaysian or our local people very much used to WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp for my hotels. I give an example. We did it very well on the WhatsApp business. We are selling all this e-voucher by WhatsApp, so we keep on our royal guests. This is very good. So we need to follow the market trend also, the consumer trend also. Consumer used to and they already make use of WhatsApp for the lifetimes. So they very happy to use WhatsApp. Like some ons like Google Map. Google Map, I don't think it's a lot of people use. A lot of people use Waze more. You see, Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, the answer is not what you use, is what the customer use. For example, if you're targeting Chinese, you have to use WeChat, right? You cannot use WhatsApp. So if
My
you're
main
using
market is
targeting,
Malay. My main market is Malay. So
yeah, so
all
Malaysia,
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp will be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then your target market is correct. You're using WhatsApp too.
Yeah.
So Google Map, like I say, is used for the Japan and the Western countries, and then you may want to use Line if you're targeting Indonesian and
Correct.
Thai, right?
Thai.
So
Yeah.
we cannot say it's not for me. Actually, very sorry. Technology is not follow you. You follow your customer's technology. Whatever the customer is using, probably you want to use it as well.
Yeah.
Right? It would be more effective. Yeah.
That's why how we going to change habits of the consumer from OTA to others.
Yeah. The OTAs make use of it. I mean, they are here to stay. But don't depend on them for sales. Depend on them to get new customers only.
Sales
But
channel.
once you bring them in, you need to convert them to become your customer.
Correct.
So your branding strategy must be very important, So there are tools for this. Like for example, if you are using email marketing, you can use MailChimp, you can use WeChat, you can use official account. Then WhatsApp, you can use business account, right?
Telegram.
Yeah, Telegram. Yeah, you can create a Telegram
Yeah, now it's
groups.
new.
Not very,
And a
not very
Signal.
effective.
Still not much people use. Not many people use.
But
Yeah.
surprisingly, Telegram being widely used in the government sector.
If
Yes.
your target market is the government sector, yep. Yeah, I think every hotelier should understand their customer more. Then they should target better, and then decide this is my target. Rather than targeting a big scope of market, if you focus, you probably get a lot of high conversion at a much lower cost. This is how I see it. It's all about making a profit at the end of the day, right? So how much does it cost you per traffic? Do we actually measure it? So in digitalization, it's important to measure everything so that you know what is effective, what is less effective, and then you can put every cent to its more effective use. What is your return of investment for everything? To do that, we are not asking everyone to be techno crazy, okay, but just to keep an open mind, right? To adapt any technology that can help you. So that's my final word.
Okay, before I ask a question, we have a Yanti Yahaya. Have you any question for our guest speaker?
Hi, I'm
Hi,
Yanti.
Yanti.
Hi, how are you?
Very good.
Okay. Sorry, I came late.
No
And
worries.
I heard about Mr. Dennis and Michael about
Yeah.
digital tourism. I also from hotel in KL.
Okay.
I have two questions. One, I would like to know what is the new digital for tourism market currently in the world that now that you're using.
In the world.
Second, yeah, it means that what is it like they have a new system, new Instagram or social media, something like that. Second, my question is about, you did mention about Google. You have a seminar on Google and how Google can help hotel and hospitality industry. May I know when is the seminar?
The Google is
Okay.
actually on Friday. Dennis is at 2 p.m., right?
Yeah, Friday
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Is it
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hi, Yanti.
Sorry, you
Muted.
unmute your
Yanti, you're
mic,
muted.
Yanti.
okay? Uh, is it free or we need to pay?
Yeah, it's
It's
free,
Yes,
free.
it's
right?
free. It's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
You can go
do
to the expo for free entrance. Then at 2 p.m. you can join the Google talk. Yeah.
can I have the name of the expo, please?
Go malaysiaexpo.com.
Go Malaysia. And I just need
Expo.com.
.com.
Yeah,
I
all in
just
one
need
word.
to register.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just register as a
Yeah.
visitor. Yeah.
Okay. And my first question about new system or new technology for digital marketing in tourism nowadays. Do you have any ideas?
For us, the best technology right now is this virtual expo. We did, because the virtual expo is different from social media. It's different from email marketing, right? So what's so different is the virtual expo can bring a lot of people into in the short period of window all come together, so you can offer discounts. So imagine you are a hotelier and you try to offer a discount. It's not so attractive compared to hundreds of hotels trying to offer discounts, right? So it will attract a lot of people come here, and it's like a buying frenzy. Like you're going to go to a Mata fair, people is ready to go for the best deals, right? So they go with the credit card on hand, ready to grab the best offer, right? So the virtual expo is something like that. People come in, they have an expectation to spend the money, open their eyes, check out what's the best deal. So it's a shopping time. These 3 days was shopping time for all these people. So I think it's much more effective using the virtual expo as your marketing tool, as compared to when you're doing your social media, you're doing alone. You're doing email marketing, you're doing alone, right? The only way you can do it in a group is when you're using OTA, right? Now you have the virtual expo where we can do it together with all the other hoteliers, and then everyone offering the super discount or special discounts or limited discounts. And then when the customer see you, you get the opportunity to talk to the customer, engage the customer face to face. You can see his reaction. You can offer him upgrades. You can offer him bundling or add-ons. So it will be very interesting, right? So we think that this virtual expo is really a very good tool for all these hoteliers and travel agencies.
May I
If
ask
I
the
can add on,
virtual?
sorry, can I add on,
Yeah, Halim.
Michael? Sorry, Yati, just to double check, are you currently using a hotel management system at your property?
Sorry, Mr. Halim, I can't hear you.
Are you currently using a hotel management system at your hotel?
PMS.
PMS system, yeah.
Yes, I am.
May I
But
know what is the brand?
our PMS system. Oh, wow, that's good. Good question. I've not
Sorry.
been to the hotel since 5 months ago. I
Oh,
might
Okay.
forgotten
no
because we are
worries.
Okay,
we,
no
we
worries,
close.
no worries, no worries. Because what I was trying to say was that if you do have a system in place now, if it is cloud-based, yeah, or if it is premise-based, which is you have a server in your hotel, yeah, it's very important to check on the updates that this model or this brand of PMS system that you're currently using and see what are the new updates or upgrades in terms of technology that it has. Because in order for you to be competitive in the marketplace, yeah, there are two ways of doing it. One is hiring people to look into the e-commerce sort of business side of it. The other one is whether your system is compatible to the current market trend of technology.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of things are now on artificial intelligence. A lot of things are now interfacing directly to your system, whereby
Especially
you are
the channel
able,
manager.
yeah, exactly, whereby you are able to communicate to your OTAs or social media, kan? Which makes you up to date and also being able to be relevant in the current marketplace. Kalau tidak, what happens is, you are going to be left behind and your competitor sets will definitely be able to steal your business easily. Yeah. Okay. So I
Yes,
think that's something you need to look at. Yeah.
yes, I agree on that, Mr. Halim. I agree on the offers and the capability of your server to uh, to a hotel actually. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for the advice.
Good, good,
So
Yanti.
Most welcome.
I just want to know about the virtual. Sorry, Mr. Michael, something new about the virtual that you mentioned just now. Is this kind of virtual platform are using for special events, or is it for like 24 hours, 7 days kind of thing?
The virtual expo is meant to be used for a particular time window. So in our case, it's only for 3 days. So if you're going to have a Mata Fair every day, 365 days a year, the Mata Fair will not work, right?
Would be
So
unique.
yeah, the when you do it maybe once a year or twice a year, people sort of like willing to spend, right? Willing to come and listen and check you out, right? So that's why the virtual fair is meant to be done once or twice or 3 times a year. That's all. So we will bring crowd together, and then very seldom hotelers to another hotelers, they are competitors, right? But when you come to the fair, all hotelers are bringing their customers. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone are bringing their customers to the fair, and their customers will see each of the hotelers compete for the promotions and so on. So that's what the customers like to see, and there will be you know, it just create a mass effect, the synergy of all the competitors come together. It makes it. For example, why would you go to one Utama or Sungai Wang to buy something when you can go to a shop lot? When you go to shop lot, you only see one or two store. But when you go to a shopping mall, you see many of them together. So you enjoy the shopping. Similar to the virtual fair, you enjoy shopping.
Yeah, I
People,
attended once actually. VTE. I think recently about couple months ago. It's quite
yes,
interesting, something new.
I think we all should keep doing it, not just one time. Don't just join our expo. Join many expo, right? As long as it's affordable and you have a good return, you should do as many as possible. Yeah, make sure.
Okay.
I think the more you join virtual expo, the more skill you have, and then you have a lot of digital tools already. For example, your promotions. The first time you do your promotion, it may take you one whole week to do, but the second time you do promotion, it just take you half a day because you have all the tools ready. You know what are the things that you need, right?
Yep,
The benefits of
I
the
agree.
virtual that I attend, that I get quite a number of travel agents
Mm.
contacts, which they are helping me now, which is
Mm.
good actually.
That's
I think
good.
it's a
So
B2B one. Is it?
Correct.
I think it's a B2B one,
Yeah,
right?
B2B one.
yeah.
Mm.
Need to be one.
So B2B, you basically opening up partnerships and channels and strategic partners, right? So B2B is very good for those. But if you go to a B2C expo, which we are having this Friday, it's actually for sales. So what you want to do is get sales. Yeah, that's
Yep.
the difference. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
agree,
Thank you
agree.
very much.
I agree all this I mean virtual expo. But Michael, my question is, since consumer, I'm not used to the virtual expo, and they're used to the actual Mata Fair. So, what is your target? And you ask the hotelier to join, and the cost of it. You see, for Mata Fair, it's being well known. We can generate sales. Hotelier will join by hook or by crook, even one booth or two booths. But virtual expo, I think we experience some. I think for me, for Tiwaf, we have experienced 3 times, but the sales, the people participant for consumer is not that great, you know. So what
True.
your target?
Okay. Okay. The first time you do probably you got X amount of sales. The second you do, does it increase or reduce? So it's supposed to be every time you do your expo, your number of sales will be increasing each time, right? So it's always the first time is your your first time lah. You didn't know what to do, but then the second time you should be doing better. Third time you will be doing better.
Exactly. The
So
virtual,
you have to
even
start
for
somewhere.
hoteler, don't know how to use a virtual. How about consumer? Don't know as well. Where to go also.
Correct. Michael, I have a question also as well. Being part of the exhibitors for this Friday event,
Yep.
Okay.
actually, number one question is actually, since we have this Go Malaysia Expo, how do you market it to the end
Yeah,
user
what
or
is the
the
target?
consumers? Yeah,
Mm,
number one. Number two is that what was the question just now? But this Go Malaysia Expo, you were talking about engagement on sales. So of course, we want sales by joining Expo. And no, the second question was that how many others virtual tour? I mean, virtual Expo do you have? I mean, do we have in Malaysia apart from the one that being organized by Global Room itself? So
okay.
these are the two questions that I want to know lah, basically.
Okay. Okay, very good question. The first one, I'm trying to recall. The first one is how do we actually do reach out to customers, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
this is really the tough one. The the first part of our objective is actually getting the exhibitors. Right. Now the exhibitors we reach the target, we quickly close and then focus on the exhibitors, the visitors. I mean, sorry,
Yes.
we focus on the visitors. So
Yes.
what we do is, unlike the physical expo, the physical expo strategy is to ask everybody to come to the fair, then only see what is on sale, right? But the virtual expo is different. Virtual expo, we take all the super discount and throw it upfront. That means before the event start, we already telling people, hey, this special discount from this hotel, we are already pushing this out before the event start. So we are actually doing a different way of marketing from physical expo. We are taking all the discounts, and upfront we offer out, let people grab the voucher. So anybody who grab the voucher will automatically come to the expo to redeem it, right?
Agreed. Yes.
Right. So before the event starts, some of the participants, exhibitors who offer super discount vouchers, they actually already got customers waiting to come in already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not just visitors, the actual customer, people who grab the vouchers. Number one. Number two is it create this feeling where customers are expecting a lot from this expo, so they will come and they will bring their friends. Okay.
Correct.
Next one. Yeah.
But Michael, before you go into answer my question number 2, but like you were saying just now, it's so different from the physical expo. But then again, if you look at Mata, for example, Mata have been for ages lah. Everyone knows
Yeah.
about Mata Fair and so forth, right? But the way they reach out to the end user was widely covers all areas in all medias, pantings, you name it, from conventional into the latest technology, maybe in WhatsApp or whatsoever, you know. So, what kind of medium that you use
Reach out the
to make
visitor.
yes, correct, to
Yeah.
reach out to the visitors? You were saying just now you were pushing this voucher on which medium? Is
Okay.
it from billboards or
Yep.
from website or email
Right.
blasting?
Very good. We actually wanted to do mass media from beginning, but then if, for example, now I'm going to put into the newspaper, the number of readers for newspaper has actually dropped tremendously, right? So it's not going to be effective. The billboard, if you're going to put a billboard, people cannot even drive out on the highway, right, during this time.
Correct.
So we actually decided not to put into the mass media like this. Instead, we go for the social media marketing as well as the paid search marketing. That
Correct.
means marketing on the Google search engine,
Yes.
right? And number one, using PPC, it's called pay per click. We can actually budget and control how much traffic will be coming in.
Via
Right.
clickbait, you mean?
Clickbait and all the strategies. So we actually hire different expertise to focus on different like search engines or the social media.
Mm-hmm.
We don't try to do everything ourselves actually. Yeah.
I fully understand, Michael Teh.
Okay.
This social media is workable, but the platform on the like newspaper or in the radios, I think they're still valid because like Shopee still do radio ads.
Yes,
And
I agree with
exactly,
Yeah.
you know.
Of course.
Andy,
Of
yeah.
course. I'm not saying that they're not effective. I'm just saying that we have to look at the current situation where we want visitors, all right?
Correct.
How many, for every dollar I spend, how many visitors can I get, right? I want to maximize my dollar, right?
Correct.
Ensuring that we appear in everywhere is actually very important to us. Yeah, the exposures is important. Yeah. But at the moment, we are still fighting for the last few days, right? We are going to the expo is going to start in a few more days. So
Correct.
all efforts have been focusing in the visitor enrollment.
Yeah.
So every day we have been fighting.
The time constraints is very bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. The reason
Yeah,
why
I just want to add in something what Michael has said I think eventually, as you say, how successful is the other Mata Fair and everything else. Of course, they have a history, they have a brand. But you realize something, why people go to Mata Fair? Because the offers are very good.
Exactly.
You know, the offers are very good. So at the end of the day, doing an expo is, I think, like my opinion, it's not just about how we are going to sell and push it out there. Because as long as your offers are great, people will come. You know. So eventually, I always believe whatever a promotion that we do is always a combination of different parties that are involved. You see. So just to quote an example, one of the exhibitors who has come in is also selling hotel rooms. Then we push out for the live streaming for him, and then he managed to get in some sales. And then on that particular day himself, he himself got and post out to all his Facebook, all his social media he's on his own, Then he started getting booking coming back in again, So it's like whatever that we do for him is an additional avenue for him to get more exposure and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So eventually then the whole thing catalyst, and then it become like a catalyst and just sort of push up the whole situation. Then he was very happy. Then every day he start texting us and say, wow, what's my sales right now? I want to know,
But
I want to check on my sales.
Yeah.
I want to see what's your click, how many clicks I have and all this. Then he started to say, okay, now no problem. I'm going to do the next one again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you vouchers. I'm going to give you vouchers as lucky draws and all these things. So on the actual day or in the event there, when the DJ start promoting, right, can use my voucher to sell and push, ask them to come to my booth, all this kind of thing. So you see, promotion is a continuous effort. So I think what this guy has done, he showed us something is like, he has put in a lot of effort to try to make his place works, So there's so much so of whether it's social media or TV or radio or whatever brand that you put it up or say, oh, McDonald's right now is selling at $6. Come to McDonald's. But McDonald's is a brand, no problem. I will go to McDonald's, mix and match. It's always at $6.50.
Correct.
It's
Dennis.
the best deal in town. That's the best deal in town.
All right.
I will go to McDonald's to get one ice cream. It's $1 something right now, but I will just pick up another burger.
Correct. Dennis.
I agree.
Yeah.
You need to attract the visitor by promotion.
Correct.
But this period, I don't think hotelier will lower down the rates. As Halim said, we have positioning our things and we don't expect high crowd. I mean the huge crowd. At this period, we are in the dilemma or to getting all these crowds, but we focus on the quality. That's why we don't give great offer. Okay, I can tell you last year when open up, Port Dickson is always a revenge tourism, and we give a very great offer. Huge amount of people come in, but this time we don't. I think most of us don't give a huge offer because we scared. You know.
But then again, we're talking about Dennis. You were talking about this good promotion of content, and Andy was mentioning about Port Dickson itself. The question that I'm posing here is actually apart from giving good promotion during that expo, my concern is the traffic that coming in or the visitor that will be coming in, because you see, I've been talking to a few of my friends, which is a hotelier also, and when I asked them about, do you know there's a Go Malaysia Expo?
They don't know.
Out of 10 hoteliers, 10 all hoteliers, I could say that only 2 of them knows about Go Malaysia Expo. So
I did question them also. They didn't reach me.
Correct.
Michael, may I ask a question to Michael? I'm just curious.
Which
Go
Michael?
ahead.
Yes.
Michael,
So many Michael.
Michael, the handsome one, not you, Michael Tang.
Okay.
Both handsome.
Bye bye.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Michael, I'm just curious because are you doing an expo for local tourism?
Yep.
Yeah,
And the
Or you're
target
selling
market is
international travels
domestic.
and things like that?
just for domestic Malaysia domestic only.
tourism. Okay. So how were you able to actually come up with this expo? You're really like very aggressive on this one because you know very well you guys came from a very long MCO and people don't have money. Maybe I don't know, but how did you come up with this expo with a positive note that you can drive a very good visitor outcome, Michael?
Okay, during the MCO, a lot of hoteliers have been suffering. All right, and then we noticed that some hotels are doing okay. Some even have a full house. So what's the difference? It's those people who actually put on the thinking cap, and just change their mindset. They say, okay, it's MCO, but there's another way to do this business. There's another way to do this marketing, right? So everybody has the opportunity to make this change. The problem is if there is nothing happening, nobody will have opportunity to change the situation, right? So if we realize that some of the hoteliers, they say, okay, I'm going to do a quarantine hotel, or maybe I'm going to do work from hotel, then we realize people are getting a lot of booking in the hotel, compared to some hotels, they say that they have no booking at all. So some people are actually investing in the hotel, and some people are, is running out of cash flow. So a lot, you will need to have the opportunity and events to allow the hotels to make a difference now. If so, our event is actually an opportunity for the hoteliers to make a decision. Book I'm going to book an exhibitor booth, okay, and then I'm going to think what I'm going to sell and how I'm going to sell, how I'm going to strategize. How I'm going to ask my staff to learn about digitalization, right? Because you have an objective, you have something for everyone to focus on. How to make use of this virtual expo to find new ways of finding customers, new ways to reach and keep the customers, and so on. So it's just it's not that we are we think that this virtual expo is going to be very successful or not. It is, if you don't have this virtual expo, nothing is going to happen.
Yes.
I see. Okay,
We don't
good
try,
luck,
we
Michael.
don't
All the
know.
best.
We must try.
All the best, Michael, because I believe there's, like what you said earlier, you gotta be starting from somewhere. Now, if this fails, at least you were able to test the waters, how
Yes.
responsive people are. Yes, then you can
Very
move
true.
on to the next. You're right.
Yep.
Yep. All
We
the
need
best,
to move
Michael.
on.
Thank you.
They need to move
I
on.
think
Okay.
if I can add on,
Thank you.
if I can add on, Andy, sorry, just a
Yeah,
quick
Halim,
one.
Halim, go
I
ahead.
think I think we need to realize, or I believe we need to realize why we join such trade shows, like consumer shows or B2C, right? There are two parts of it. Like one is brand awareness, whereby you are featured in those, whether it is virtual or hybrid or face to face, right? And the offers that you are putting out there is purely to get people to buy in, one, two, to come to actually to your booth, whether it's virtual or not, face to face also can, to get the contact details, to create a listing of your database, right?
Yep.
And of course, the offers, again, I keep telling my USNs before, why are you putting offers that people will not even buy, right? Put out an offer. Tell me, boss, I want 100 room nights, and this is the price I want to go out there and sell. And I'll say, go ahead, because out of a 500 room inventory, and what is 500 room night? I mean, right? And just flood the market so that people will actually come and say, hey, the minute the guy walks through your door by buying these vouchers, I mean, those days, Mutiara, I used to sell vouchers to Padu Lake in 20, $30 bundles, to the Singaporeans.
Yeah.
You
To
are
the
very right,
Singaporeans,
Halim.
Yeah,
They will buy, because why? I'm selling it at 60, 70 ringgit. And those guys will sell the Singaporeans, as kiasu as they are. They'll go back and sell to their cousins, auntie, grandmothers, they'll try and make more money from that. They buy 60 ringgit, they sell at 60 Sing dollars. And to them, it's still bargain.
Very
But for
true.
me, what do I get? I get people walking through my door.
100%. Yeah.
I get people walking through my door, right? And that's where you capture them for future.
Yeah, that's the whole idea about throwing the vouchers, that you do a super discount voucher, you bring in this guy. When they go into your booth, he become your customer, you own his database, you own his phone number, you do anything you want with him, and you upsell him.
Dennis, count
Technically, this
me in.
idea.
I give three, I mean,
All
I
right.
give every day 3 stay voucher
Wonderful. You're
for your
in.
promotion.
Yes, sir. Thank
Mark
you
my
very
word,
much.
Okay, we come to Rahayu. Rahayu, come into the stage. Anything from Rahayu?
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, hello.
everybody.
Hi,
Hello.
Rahayu.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. I have two questions.
Go
Number
ahead.
one, since we're talking about the new digital tourism, right? I will to ask about the social media platforms. Actually, there are so many platforms out there. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have YouTube, we have TikTok.
LinkedIn.
You yeah, so many platforms. And Michael mentioned just now the other Michael, Michael Me, is it?
Tam. Mike.
Michael Teh, you mean referring to?
Michael, not Michael Tom. The other Michael is
Michael Teh.
Michael Teh.
Michael,
Yeah, me.
Michael Teh.
Michael T.
Yeah,
Right.
sorry.
So you mentioned about to measure what is workable for you and focus on that. But you also mentioned that in the same time, your presence must be felt like everywhere. Can you give some thoughts on this? Like should we be in all social media platforms and maybe share some marketing hacks as well? How do you connect to all these social media? That's number one. My second question, if you can also share some success stories of how virtual expo benefits travel agents. I always feel like I personally always feel that travel agents is like losing because the price war is just crazy. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah. First of all, every social media have its characteristics. So, for example, Facebook, the characteristic of a Facebook is actually for the older generation. So maybe it's above 35 years old, right? For the young people, you're asking a 18-year-old or 20-year-old person, and you ask them about Facebook, they probably tell you they don't have a Facebook account. All right, it's just like that. So younger people will go for Instagram. Okay, they prefer to use Instagram. They like to see instant. They like to see a few seconds of a promotion. They don't like to spend 30 minutes or or do reading. The young people, they prefer Instagram. So every social media tool actually have its own characteristic. But Rahayu, if you're trying to make your presence everywhere at the same time immediately, it will be too stressed and end up you may just give up because
Yeah,
each
that's
one
right.
actually takes up a lot of your resources, your time, right? So if
Yeah,
you cannot
yeah,
maintain the social media presence, it will actually backfire. So you need to do slowly. So for example, in Facebook, you maybe want to look at it once a day, and minimize on the Facebook messaging because you don't really have time to talk to people on Facebook messaging, knowing that Facebook messaging are not very effective online marketing. People like to talk non non value added topics in the Facebook messaging. They are more friends, for family, for friends usage, not so much for the marketing purpose, right? Then, so once you get to manage to control, like, or how should you properly use the Facebook, and what target market they are good useful for, and then how do you maintain that after you have got used to it, then you switch to Instagram. Instagram will be the younger generation, right? So if you, as a general, the company should use at least these two, Facebook and Instagram, right? So at least you capture a wide range of customers. But
Michael, how about
Instagram, the
TikTok?
way yeah,
No,
TikTok
no.
is a bit difficult for most hoteliers or people in
Tony
in our
Fernandez
age.
used TikTok.
Yeah, I think if
If
you
I
have
can add, Michael.
teenagers to help you, then TikTok would be nice. But then TikTok always don't have this business kind of
Yeah.
commercialization in it. Yeah, yeah. Just
Yeah,
now,
Halim?
Halim.
Yeah, I
right.
think Michael, what you're saying is correct. And also for Rayu, I mean, the social media ni sometimes when we try to do too much, then it becomes spam, technically, right?
Yep. Too
Yeah,
Then
commercial.
we will don't follow you or whatever. So for business, ideally it should be now, now. Not that I have got Instagram or Facebook account, but definitely these are the two social media that you want to work or do in your campaign for marketing. More so on Instagram, yeah. TikTok too, let the influencers use lah, some KOLs and all that.
Okay.
That
And
pakai
YouTube
lah,
also very useful,
But I think one thing very important, yeah. In fact, YouTube now is picking up very much, yeah. But one thing you must always remember is having 1 million likes and 1,000 followers is not a successful social media.
Yep.
Having 1,000 likes and 1 million followers, that's a successful social media. Because then these people are not just putting their thumbs up. It's about they receive, a viral or whatever. With the followers, you are then able to actually market yourself to them. These people are serious enough to want to know more about you, and that's where you can do your promotions. Yeah.
But Halim, for your information, I found the technology of the Facebook. They change the algorithm. They're not going to notify the follower as well because they want you to put the ad. You see?
Correct. That's why Facebook sekarang pun being almost phased out lah.
Yep. Dia sudah slow dah. Follower tak notify dah.
I mean, professionally, you can also use LinkedIn, and as I mentioned earlier, WhatsApp Business lah. That's the other one that.
Yeah, WhatsApp Business is good.
Yeah.
May I suggest
LinkedIn is
something
also
to Rohayu?
suitable for marketing.
LinkedIn, yes, you can use the LinkedIn marketing.
Yep.
You may need to subscribe.
Right. Okay.
But it's a small amount per year. But if your customers and all that are a lot on LinkedIn, then you are able to post your promos or to them.
But the Google Map did important for the navigations. I think Michael agree with me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
You need to use Google for your search engine marketing, definitely.
Yes, and the Google Map location.
Using the Google and analytics and all that will help you to give you direction on where you want to market.
Yep.
Right?
Rahayu.
Google Business is another one. If you have a website, you need to be linked to Google Business. Sure.
Okay.
Rahayu, seeing that where you're starting, you are actually considering about which one to use. May I suggest that you look at your team members?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you you want to use something that your team members are strong in? For example, if your team members consist of all the young people, or you got to talk with them. Are they using social media themselves, right? So it's easier for you to get into the social media if you have a team that is familiar with the tool.
Yeah.
So just look at your own team members, what type of human resource you have, and maybe even if you don't have, can you engage some of them from external party? Is it available to you at a good price? Is it So it's always about what you personally already have on hand, what type of people you have. That will actually help you a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael brought up a good point. Okay, for hoteliers, whoever industry players, don't stop your staff to use Instagram or TikTok while they're working, because actually they are pushing your hotel branding for you, because they take the network seeing where they work, and it's also marketing for us.
Yeah.
Michael, if I may just add on to that question, how about the content of your like infographics, for example, the one that you post on FB and also IG? Do you think it has to be different, or it can be the same content?
Oh, there's a lot of people arguing both ways. Some people say that you need to have this color scheme that people recognize you in the moment your visual comes out. You know, you have that color. You had that have that particular font type. Then there's another group of people who says, you know, you want to reach out to more different kind of clients and so on. But at the end of the day, most importantly is, do you have a strategy, right? So even if you use a different font type, a different color scheme, or do you have a strategy on your content, right? So if, for example, you're going to create your marketing for people above 40 years old or above 50 years old, you have to make sure your font is all at least this size, minimum size, because
Yeah.
older people cannot see very well, you know.
Yeah.
Or you choose a color which is a grayish instead of a dark black, you know. So you need to have a bit of strategy about your design. Okay. For example, the type of color, you know, whether it's a fanciful sporty color, or whether you want to have a more professional color scheme, right? And then the pictures that you want to choose from, you know. So the library of pictures is important. So just a little bit of tips, right? We do is we go and ask all the staff to collect whatever advertisement they find interesting. Okay, so they used to collect all the advertisements from everywhere, whether it's a printed or it's on the Instagram or it's in the Facebook or anywhere. Whenever they see an interesting advertisement, we tell them copy it to a library so everyone can enjoy, can use it as an idea generation. You know, sometimes you just run out of idea what to say. Sometimes you just don't know how things can look like, because every one of us are not professional designers, but when we are stimulated enough, okay, we tend to have more ideas. So looking at a lot of ideas, putting them all in one digital library, it will help you to decide, hey, you know, we have to follow this method. You know, the logo should be in the corner, right? The face should be within this dimension, so on. So you get to know what is a beautiful or effective advertisement and what is not so effective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much. Time is chasing us. It's already
Oh,
10:51.
Andy.
So yeah,
Andy.
yeah.
Sorry, my second question is not answered yet.
Yeah. Sorry. What is the second question?
Okay.
My second question.
I can't remember already. Can you remind me your
Can you
second
repeat,
question?
Rahayu?
Too many, too many.
Uh, okay. If you can share some success stories,
Oh,
how virtual expo benefits travel agents. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. The virtual expo for travel agents, you're selling packages. So simple as enough, you are not going to really compete with the hoteliers. Hoteliers are just selling room nights only. So anything other than that,
Okay.
the other than room nights and flight tickets, the travel agents actually have a field day, you know, because they are the one who
Mm,
combine all this together, right?
yeah.
So how
Mm,
do you compare? You know, if you're saying that travel agencies,
mm,
can what's the advantage? Actually, you have a lot of advantage, because, for example, a travel agency can include uh, the this COVID testing, right?
destination
You can include
package.
a lot of things. Yeah, all these packages that actually is a requirement for the MCO SOP now, which the hotel actually cannot provide.
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So all the testings and all the if you want to go to Langkawi from KL, you either fly or you have to take a tour package, right? You cannot drive yourself to Langkawi. Not anymore. So you have to go for a travel agency. So travel agency actually have a lot of opportunity now, you know, because there's so
Yes.
many new stuff they can add in already. They
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
package in together. Yeah.
I want
Okay.
to
Okay.
share very
Thank
briefly,
you,
if that's
Michael.
okay.
Any? Thank
Sorry.
you, Rahayu. Okay, we
Thank you. I
are
just followed you,
wrapping up
Michael.
these
Okay.
sessions. So, Dennis and Michael, What would you like to wrap up the whole session and talk promote for your this Go Malaysia?
Before we
Okay.
wrap up, can I just very briefly address something? I
Sure.
think we discussed social media. I just like to provide like a technical sort of
Oh, sorry, Esan.
opinion, if
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, I'll be very brief. I won't
Go
take so
ahead.
much
Go
time.
ahead.
Don't worry. Thank you so much. So, basically, I think prior to this, I joined this basically because I kind of want to help out the tourism industry in Malaysia. I'm a technical expert myself. Like I mean, I mainly focus on a lot of like new sort of strategies in terms of dealing with geolocation marketing, right?
Okay.
And so, one of the things that we have noticed recently is that a lot of tourism players in Malaysia are not really using geolocation based marketing as much as they can. I think there were some mentions of this that were very good. I think there was a mention of Google My Business, which is a way to list your tourism business up in Google searches. At the end of the day, you talk about search engine optimization. You talk about how visible your business is in the public domain, how easy it is for people who are coming to a certain city or a certain, like if you're going to Langkawi, how would you find an interesting place to go? A lot of the searches that come in from Google Maps specifically would be XYZ near me. So, say for example, cafe near me, restaurant near me, a hotel near me, or near this location. So, if someone is sort of planning a trip, they would actually search for, they would more likely search on Google
Yep.
for like a hotel near this part of Langkawi, or sometimes they find an interesting part of an area, of a town, of a city that they want to go to. They would right click and very simply be able to sort of see what areas are nearby, right? And so geolocation has two prongs. It's not just sort of searching on Google Maps. Geolocation benefits you on every social media platform. It's stuff like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's very hard to do a hashtag. A lot of people have tried hashtag marketing. It is close to impossible to do a hashtag campaign over a prolonged period of time. The most successful sort of hashtag based campaigns over every social media platform have been short. So if you're going to focus on marketing your sort of your business online, I would say very much leverage geolocation, leverage Google My Business, put as much information as you can up there because that's the first thing people are going to find when they search you. And your location is something you can use on every social media platform. I'll give you an example. I mean, there are a lot of TikTok videos of, and I don't know if anyone's brought up TikTok as a platform prior to this, but it is something to look into. But there are a lot of TikTok videos about like a certain very interesting place, right? There'll be this really nice looking place, nice hotel, nice place to stay, nice area to be in. But sometimes most of the time we don't really put a location to it, right? Now, if you're doing a very good job with your, if you manage your Google My Business, you handle your geolocation well. You got good, you focus on like handling reviews and stuff like that on Google, and you focus on making sure there's good enough information when people search for you. Search engine optimization. What is going to happen is more or less if someone is posting organically, because that's what you need to rely on in a lot of these cases. You can't, it's very difficult to create like a hashtag based campaign. It's possible, but very difficult. If you were to do that, market it very well, and sort of present whatever information you have about your business very well over the internet, um, then you have a very very reasonable chance of someone sort of tagging the location when they post a video or whatever it is. I'm not saying count on the next viral video on Twitter or in TikTok or whatever that will sort of spur interest in your business. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the likelihood is much higher that people will be redirected back to your business if you have your booking engines and if you have your website connected to your Google My Business. It can take all that traffic on the internet. Say, for example, you're based in Penang, and you have a hotel or like a hostel sort of thing near Love Lane in Penang, right? People take a lot of pictures there. People post a lot of content there, actually. If that content was used in a way that directs the traffic, all that internet traffic, back to your website, back to the booking site, you could actually make money, and sort of, you know, get bookings based on that traffic. So, if there's anything I can emphasize Malaysian tourism players, it is use geolocation.
Thank you
I
very
think that's
much.
an edge for us. Yeah,
Thank you, Ehsan. You got the good suggestions and ideas. Okay, time is running out. Dennis and Michael, please wrap up your things.
Okay,
We end the
thank you,
session.
Andy. It's almost
Yeah.
10:58 right now, so I think it's almost 2 hours. Thank you very much for
Yes.
the invitation. Thank you.
Don't worry.
Okay, I would just like to say just wrapping up, yeah. Please come and visit us at www.gomalaysiaexpo.com, okay, and register yourself at this website, yeah. So then you'll be able to log in from the 8th October onwards into our live platform. Come and experience with us what this virtual digital technology is all about. Okay, we have an array of events there for you, not just exhibitor promoting the products and services. We do have webinar session, like for example, Google, UITM, Maxis, Tourism Malaysia, and many others. Okay,
And
which you will
stay
find it very
voucher to be
interesting.
won.
Yes, and
Yes.
also
Yeah,
draft
correct.
vouchers to be given out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yes.
On that kind of stuff. So let's do it together. I think it's something new. Again, we are not here to say we will be as successful as whoever has done it. In a grand scale. But
Yep.
nevertheless, we always stick to the small little idea of if you're never gonna do it, you will never do it.
Yes. Never
Okay,
try, never know.
let us do it, and let's come in. Not everybody gonna come in at the same time. It doesn't matter. Okay, you
Yes.
move your journey. You move your journey. You might fail. You might fall a little time. You get up again and you move on. That's basically our motto. Okay, and we are in this digital technology world today. So I think
Yeah.
what we are doing right
Move
now, we
on.
apply it into the tourism sector, and and also the lifestyle sector for this expo itself. So please go and register yourself, pre-register yourself at www.gomalaysiaexpo.com. Basically, that's the first step you do. Then
Remember, 8th
eventually
of
be able to do that.
October till 10th October.
Yes, yes. From the 8th onward, you'll be able to log in into the live platform. So consider the live platform is like you're entering into a physical hall with people exhibiting products. Okay,
Yep.
with VIP speeches, launching the ceremony, and with talks by different professionals and panel speakers,
Yeah,
and
there's
with
a meeting
gifts given
room to
away.
talk to the
We
hotelier.
have spin the wheel. We have spin the wheel lucky draw also happening. So then we have hotel giving out vouchers. We have mass ticket airline ticket to be given away, and so forth and so
Yes.
forth. So I think we try to make it as vibrant as possible, but we need participation. Again, it's not
Yep.
just one-sided. We need participation. Tell your friends, share to your contact. Let's see how it is, and let's experience it together.
Yep.
Then from there on, if there's any shortcoming, we can improve along. I think that is the spirit that we should be together right now, and I think that's what is going to make it work, make it great.
We work
Yeah.
together. Yep.
Yes, and last but not least, also I'd like to take this opportunity. I think also we have some for my association, Puan Amy, and as our president for MyBar, president for MyBar, and also deputy president, which is Dr. Ganesh is also here. They came
Yeah,
in a bit
yeah,
late
yeah.
because earlier I
He
didn't
always
post
follow
my
us.
my thing to them. Sorry. So they are also here. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think basically I just want to wrap up like that lah. Michael, anything else on your side?
Michael?
If not, then pass to
Right.
Uzaidi. Yeah.
Okay. Dennis just mentioned most of it, but I just want to add one little thing. Go to Instagram or go to Facebook and search for Go Malaysia Expo. Okay. So follow us, and then we will always have new stuff. You can follow us, and then after these events, and you can still follow us. So please join us at Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Uzaidi, our main man. Anything from
Yeah.
you for wrap up?
The boss has not spoken.
All right.
The boss being
Thank you,
quiet.
Andy. Thank you. I'm enjoying my Maggie Me because I'm trying to refrain my comments on this digital. Whenever
Yeah.
I'm commenting about digital and all these new things, I always be in trouble. So, but again, on my personal point of view, I strongly believe on digital. Digital is not an option. Digital is actually a must,
A must,
and
yeah.
we're talking about productivity. We need to increase our productivity. Therefore, we need to think out the box. Even we have to think without the box. And therefore, we would like to to have a borderless market. We have to make sure that free market, and everybody on the same page and same treatments. Therefore, we can expand. Not only for Malaysian market but for international market. Talking about the digital is a huge thing. Everybody is talking about digital, but in terms of tourism, we need to focus to be focused on what are we going to target, what are we going to market. I heard a lot about the social media. Social media is not our platform. Social media is actually other people's platform. Social media is Mark Zuckerberg's platform. Facebook is Mark Zuckerberg. Anytime Mark Zuckerberg just click their finger, they can disappear. Twitter, just a click on its finger, Donald Trump, who has millions of followers, disappear, banned in Twitter. So therefore, those platforms are not our platform. We have to have our own platform. We have to create. This social media is just a gathering, just a nets for us to get all the leads. But the leads has to go somewhere. Therefore, that's why just now the Michael has been saying that we need to compile it on the email list. We need to make sure that all our lists are secure, so that we'll be able to target we have to have our own audience rather than depending on platform.
Yep.
We had our Clubhouse here, all right. Clubhouse, they what they call, they notified people whenever we are having a new session. But now the algorithm is different. They don't even notify anymore. If you follow the moderator, if you follow the speaker, yes, you'll be notified. But tomorrow will be different. So every day the algorithm is different. So we have to control our database. We have to control our audience. Therefore, digital whatever digital that initiative that we are trying to do, I really support. Talking about Malaysia Expo, I support it because we need to create our own database. We need to create our own
Yes.
audience. In order not to depend on OTA, not depend on any social media platforms. That's their platform. It's not our platform. It's just a matter of getting the leads, and they can do loss leader. If let's say I'm the hotel, I give 100 ringgit to OTA. The OTA has a right. They can sell at 50 ringgit because they want to use your hotels to get the leads. 50 ringgit per leads is cheap for them. So they use a loss leader strategy. So it's not once you give them the right, they can do whatever they want. It's the same thing like
Yep.
Giant. It's the same thing like Tesco. They can sell what minyak, beras, or minyak cannot. Minyak is control items. But whatever
Nescafe.
item they can sell it to get all the to get the people to come in. But the promotion item, the loss leader item is at the end of the hall, so you can go through all these places and you can pick up all the products. So that's the loss leader strategy. So in other words,
Yes.
we need to control our database, we need to control our audience. I hope all our players, especially travel agents, don't just sell dry rooms, don't just sell dry tickets. You have to have value added. Therefore, you can take part. You don't need to compete with hotels. You don't need to compete with airlines. You need to be you need to provide value added. And this way, the Dennis and also Michael is coming in from. They can give the platform, and for us to to get all the new leads, and for us to build up our own database. I think that's about it.
Yes.
My point of view. Back to you, Andy. Thank you. Thank
Good,
you
good,
guys.
good,
Thank you
good.
very much for
Yes,
all
it's
this input.
very, very important point. As a hotelier or any industry players, you need to keep your guests, loyalty guests, loyal to you, repeat your, you mean your properties and everything. So this is very important to give as much as personal touch service, quality service to the guests, so they will loyal to you. This is very important. Okay, thank you very much. Stay safe, stay strong. We are back.
Thank you, Denis. Thank you,
Tourism
Michael. Thank you,
sure will
Michael.
be back.
Thank
Okay.
you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
Okay,
you. Bye
everyone.
Be in touch.
bye.
Good night.
Thank you,
Bye
Denis.
bye.
Thank you,
Good
Denis.
Good night.
night.
Good night.
All the
Good
best,
night.
Michael and
Thank you,
Dennis,
Michael
for your
Tam.
expo.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks.
Don't forget your voucher, huh?
Yeah. 3 days, 3 voucher every day. 3 voucher
Every
each
day,
day.
3 vouchers. Wow,
Yes.
Michael, excellent.
Sure. I will send the e-voucher to you.
No
Thank you.
problem,
Thank you.
no
Thank you.
problem. Keep in touch tomorrow lah. Huh?
All right.
We'll find a way. There's people out there that feel the same. If we help each other, I just know.